On the surface, it looks like just another Tuesday on Blue Star. But if you look closer, at the headlines the government is trying to bury, the world is already screaming. A giant mutation found in the ocean, roots that can cover entire cities. The Earth itself is starting to pulse with a heartbeat that shouldn't be there. Most people? They're just scrolling past it. They think it's CGI or a marketing stunt. They're too busy with their own little lives to realize that the food chain they sit at the top of is about to be flipped upside down. And speaking of little lives, we find our protagonist, Fang Yi, in the middle of a cliché nightmare. He's standing in the school courtyard, surrounded by classmates who are basically treated like spectators at a circus. Why? Because the school belle, Liu Qingli, is about to drop the hammer. She looks him dead in the eye and tells him it's over. No, it's not you, it's me. No, she's being much more brutal. She's essentially telling him that since she got into a top-tier university and he didn't, he's now officially trash in her eyes. In her mind, a lifetime together requires compatibility, and she thinks she's outgrown him. The crowd loves it. They're whispering about how he was charity dating her anyway. They're waiting for him to snap, to cry, to get on his knees and beg for one more chance. But Fang Yi doesn't give them the satisfaction. He just says, "All right," and walks away. To Liu, it's an insult. She thinks he's faking it. But the truth, Fang Yi isn't the same boy she was dating yesterday. You see, Fang Yi has a secret that would make Liu's university acceptance look like a joke. He's a regressor. He's lived through a future where money, grades, and reputation meant absolutely nothing. To him, this girl is just a stranger from a past life that doesn't matter anymore. He's not heartbroken, he's focused. He knows the countdown has already started. In exactly 361 days, 11 hours, and 59 minutes, the spiritual energy revival hits. It's not a slow change, it's a total reshuffle of humanity, a world where power is the only currency that buys you a tomorrow. Fang Yi remembers the smell of the blood. He remembers his nation falling and watching billions of people get wiped out by mutated beasts. In his first life, he was weak. He was a nobody who died filled with rage and a desperate need for revenge. But something, some cosmic entity or high-tier algorithm, chose him. It brought him back to this exact point, 1 year before the aura recovery. And this time, he has a system. Not just a basic one, but a system that can take anything in the world, anomalies, energy, even legendary artifacts, and turn them into cultivation techniques. While the rest of the school is gossiping about the breakup, Fang Yi is hunting. He sees a news report about a heat wave hitting the university's north gate, 74 degrees Celsius. The university is telling students to wear sunscreen, but Fang Yi knows better. That's not a weather pattern. That's a concentrated yang attribute pocket. He heads straight for the north gate. The air is so hot it's shimmering, and people are literally running for their lives to avoid heat stroke. Fang Yi, however, walks right into the center of the distortion. He's not just enduring it, he's looking for the source. He finds it. A tiny pulsating orb of pure energy. The system confirms it. Intense yang attribute detected. This is the moment. He reaches out and touches it, and the world explodes in gold. It's not a gentle process. It feels like his veins are being filled with liquid sun. To the students watching from a distance, it looks like a god has descended or a Super Saiyan is being born. They have no idea that they are witnessing the birth of the world's first true cultivator. The compilation finishes. Fang Yi has just secured the golden sun breathing technique. This is just the beginning. The school belle might have dumped a loser, but she has no idea. She just turned her back on the only person who might be able to save her when the monsters arrive. Back at Qingcheng University, life is supposed to be returning to normal after the big breakup. But for the school belle, Liu Qingli, things are just getting annoying. Every guy on campus is suddenly a gentleman, lining up to carry her bags or offer their numbers. While everyone else is playing house and worrying about their dating lives, Liu is staring at the horizon. She saw that golden pillar of light at the north gate. And more importantly, she saw a silhouette inside it. A silhouette that looked exactly like the loser she just dumped. But the school isn't just dealing with a fire. The university president arrives, flanked by men in high-collared uniforms and a mysterious girl in a hooded cloak. These aren't security guards, they're military. System voice: Grade A polluted zone purified. Source: Qingcheng University North Gate. Fang Yi is watching the whole cleanup from a safe distance. He realizes the Xia nation government is already labeling these events as polluted zones. He's not the only one who knows the world is shifting. The authorities are already hunting for anyone who came into contact with the aura early. He knows that if he gets caught now, he becomes a lab rat for the military. He makes a move, vanishing into the city before that hooded girl can track his energy. And she almost has him. She can actually smell the aura lingering in the air. Her conclusion? This wasn't a freak accident. It was man-made. Someone tamed the raw power of the anomaly before the government could get their hands on it. Back at his apartment, Fang Yi realizes the secret is leaking. The #1 trending topic is the Aura Cultivation Association. In his past life, he was too busy surviving to notice these early warning signs. But here it is, the government's soft launch of the apocalypse. They've released the official cultivation realms, from the basic Ghost Axe realm all the way up to Transcendence. They're testing the public, seeing who is smart enough to start training before the real chaos starts. Fang Yi doesn't need a government manual. He starts his first session with the Golden Sun technique. But the raw power is almost too much. His body feels like it's being cooked from the inside out. Cold showers and AC don't even touch the heat. He's literally rewriting his DNA with liquid fire, system voice. Congratulations, you have ascended to the Dushui realm. With the level up comes a new broken ability, compilation points. Fang Yi can now forcibly embed his techniques into any physical object. He tests it on a cup, and it immediately glows with yang energy. He looks at his sword and realizes he can create signature weapons that cut through mutated hides like butter. He needs to hurry, though, because deep in the woods, the first mutation has already arrived. This isn't a bunny. It's a multi-eyed, bloodthirsty nightmare. The aura recovery hasn't officially begun. But the monsters, they're already here. It's the middle of the night, and the world is quiet. But for Fang Yi, the silence is deafening. Ever since he stepped into the Ghost Axe realm, his senses have been dialed up to 11. A sharp, rhythmic scratching coming from the hallway. At first, he thinks it's a neighbor's pet or a leaky pipe. But the sound is too heavy, too deliberate. He realizes it's coming from right outside his door. His past life instincts scream at him before his brain even catches up. Something is very, very wrong. He opens the door and locks eyes with a nightmare. It looks like a rabbit, but it's the size of a wolf, covered in jagged black fur and glowing red eyes. This is a night spirit beast, a mutation caused by the early leak of spiritual energy. To an ordinary person, this is a death sentence. To Fang Yi, it's a test. Meanwhile, high above the city, we meet a new player. A girl in a blue cloak, part of the government's secret Aura Association. She's tracking this exact beast. She's frustrated, reporting to her team that the rabbit is too fast and has entered a densely populated apartment complex. She knows that if she doesn't find it in the next few minutes, the building is going to become a buffet. She's pushing her limits, leaping across skyscrapers, desperate to stop a massacre. She has no idea that the massacre has already been cancelled. Back in the hallway, the rabbit lunges, but thanks to his breakthrough, Fang Yi sees the world in slow motion. He can see the exact trajectory of the beast's claws. He realizes this thing is starving. It can smell the high-level yang energy inside him, and it wants to devour it to complete its evolution. Fang Yi doesn't hold back. He unleashes the Golden Sun energy. The rabbit, driven by animal greed, actually tries to absorb his attack. But here's the kicker: you can't absorb the sun. The pure dominant yang energy overloads the beast's core. It's a total system failure. With a massive flash of golden light, the monster is literally vaporized from the inside out. The hallway falls silent again. Fang Yi stares at the scorched floor, realizing that the mutations are coming faster than he remembered. He knows he needs to collect more techniques, and fast. If a mid-level mutation is already roaming his hallway, the city is about to become a war zone. By the time the association girl arrives, the fight is over. She finds the fragments of the beast, but when she touches the floor, she recoils in shock. It's still burning. The energy residue is so pure and so hot, it makes her own powers feel like a candle next to a furnace. She calls HQ, her voice shaking. She tells them she didn't kill the target. A forerunner beat her to it. Someone with an attribute so high level it shouldn't even exist yet. The association president's response is immediate. Find this person. This is a master. Do not arrest them. Recruit them. The girl takes a bite of her lollipop and stares into the dark. The hunt for Fang Yi is on, and the government is willing to do whatever it takes to get him on their side. Waking up at the crack of dawn to rewrite your DNA. Just an average morning for Fang Yi. He knows that the spiritual energy revival doesn't wait for anyone, so while the rest of the world is sleeping, he's perfecting his golden sun breathing technique. He starts by manifesting his aura into the shape of a divine axe. Yesterday, it felt heavy, cumbersome, but today, it feels like an extension of his own arm. With one final burst of concentration, the system chimes in with the good news. He's officially advanced to the Ghost Axe realm, 2-star. His progress is terrifyingly fast, but Fang Yi knows he can't stay in the city for long. His cultivation is becoming too flashy. One wrong move and he'll bring the whole building down. Luckily, his authentic goods have arrived, a real custom-made sword. Meanwhile, in the association office, the president is staring at his monitors in disbelief. That solar energy signature is back, and it's stronger than ever. Fang Yi heads into the wilderness to test his new toy. He uses his coding points to forcibly embed the Yang attribute into the blade. He tried this before with a plastic figurine, and it literally melted. But this time, the steel holds. The blade and his inner power resonate perfectly. He gives the sword a light test swing, and, well, light might be an understatement. He nearly starts a massive wildfire with a single stroke. Realizing he's making way too much noise, he scrams. Just as he leaves, the girl in the blue cloak, the association's top tracker, bursts onto the scene. She's out of breath, crying about how she missed the master because she was busy redeeming a milk tea coupon. But her humor disappears when she sees the damage. She realizes that in just 24 hours, this master has jumped from 1-star to 2-star. Even worse, he's created a spirit weapon. To put that in perspective, the entire government association only has 2 of these in their entire inventory. And this guy just made one in the woods like it was nothing. Back in the city, Fang Yi realizes his privacy settings were a bit too loose. He's been scouted by a group of pioneers, civilians who have awakened early. They want him to join a raid on a new pollution zone called the Dark River Molten Dragon. Fang Yi sees the data pack and realizes the attribute is a match for his Yang type. It's too good to pass up. He meets the team in the Binmu district. Among them is Zhang Xiaoya, who, unbeknownst to the others, is actually a staff member from the Aura Association. She's there to scout for talent, but when she sees Fang Yi, she can't feel any oppressive pressure from him. The team enters the tectonic fissure, expecting a fight for their lives. But as they go deeper, something feels off. It's not as hot as it should be. The pioneers think they're just lucky. But Fang Yi knows the cave is actually sucking the heat out of the environment for something much bigger. They reach a river of literal molten lava. While the rest of the team is terrified, Fang Yi does the unthinkable. He lunges straight into the fire. The team screams, thinking he's suicidal. But as he hits the flames, the system screen flickers to life. World anomaly detected, inner flame, activating ultimate computing power. Most people would see a river of lava and run for the hills. But for Fang Yi, this is just a massive battery pack waiting to be tapped. As he stands in the molten heat, the system finishes its analysis. He's just unlocked the Scarlet Flame Sword technique, an explosive, high-temperature power that coats his blade in roaring fire and summoning lightning. He doesn't just survive the plunge, he thrives in it. He uses his script points to embed the inner flame attribute directly into his Tang sword. And the result is beautiful. His team is staring in absolute shock as he walks out of the fire, completely unharmed. They think he's lucky. They have no idea he's just rewritten the rules of the game. As the lava stabilizes, the spiritual energy in the cave becomes smooth enough for the rest of the pioneers to actually absorb. They're laughing, thinking they've finally stepped onto the path of cultivation. But Zhang Xiaoya, the secret association mole, is the only one looking at the bigger picture. She's watching Fang Yi, realizing that the power gap between him and everyone else isn't just a gap, it's a canyon. But of course, peace never lasts. A group of higher-level pioneers, at least in their own minds, bursts into the cave. These guys are Ghost Axe 1-stars, and they've already adopted the survival of the fittest mentality. They try to bully the team, telling them to scram because this land belongs to the strong. Xiaoya is about to intervene with her official status, but Fang Yi beats her to it. He steps up with a casual yo, looking completely unimpressed. The lead bully starts barking threats, but before he can even finish his sentence, Fang Yi draws his blade. One casual swing of the scarlet flame sword, that's all it takes. The cave erupts in a secondary explosion of golden fire. Fang Yi stares them down with a cold scram. They don't need to be told twice. They scramble out of the cave like their lives depend on it. Because they probably do. The team is cheering, calling Fang Yi awesome. But he just smiles and brushes it off. To him, this wasn't a fight. It was a chore. Once the cave's energy is depleted, the group heads back. Xiaoya immediately reports to HQ, and the association is losing its mind. Another high-attribute pioneer? In the same city. The president is literally holding his head in his hands, muttering about how he wants to resign. The world is changing too fast, and he's the one stuck doing the paperwork for it. Back in the city, Fang Yi tries to play it cool. He throws on a white hoodie and a mask, hoping to blend in. But with that legendary sword on his back and his natural presence, people think he's a high-level cosplayer. Girls are calling him the ruler of men, while he just wants to find a quiet place to hide. He sees the news. Photographers are already capturing shots of his golden dragon fire from the cave. He's becoming a legend before he's even ready. He heads to the mountains behind his house to break through to 3-star. But guess who's already there? Su Qingying, the girl in the blue cloak. She's there to investigate the garden restoration, but the moment Fang Yi starts his breakthrough, the energy is so overbearing it nearly knocks her off her feet. She realizes it's him, the monster she's been hunting. She charges toward the source of the flame, determined to finally catch the man who's been one step ahead of the government this whole time. Fang Yi is already deep in his cultivation. The air around him is thick with pressure, vibrating with a golden light that looks less like energy and more like a physical force of nature. Su Qingying is watching this with her heart in her throat. She's an elite, the captain of the Firefly squad, but as she watches Fang Yi control his spiritual energy with surgical precision, she realizes she's looking at a monster. She remembers her own attempt to break through to 2-star. It nearly killed her. She spent a week bedridden, coughing up blood just because the divine axe pressure was too much to handle. And yet, here is this stranger swinging that same pressure around like it's a toy. To her, he doesn't look like a modern pioneer. He moves with the steady, profound experience of an ancient master who's practiced for hundreds of years. Most people rush their breakthroughs out of greed. But Fang Yi, he's as steady as a mountain. Then it happens. A massive surge of energy erupts, confirming the unthinkable, another breakthrough. He solidified his 2-star status with a concentration of energy that shouldn't even be possible this early in the revival. She rushes into the clearing, but he's already gone. He vanished in less than 30 seconds. Su Qingying is panicking now. If he realizes he's being tracked, she might lose the chance to recruit the greatest asset the Xia nation has ever seen. But Fang Yi wasn't running. He was waiting. He steps out from the shadows, his face hidden by a Su Qingying, drops the tough agent act immediately. She chooses her words carefully, keeping her tone soft and respectful. She introduces herself as the captain of the Firefly squad and offers him a sincere invitation to join the association. Fang Yi is blunt. He asks why. He knows that joining an association usually means restrictions. He tells her straight up, he doesn't trust them yet. Desperate to prove she's not some faceless bureaucrat, she shows him her ID. Before the world ended, she was a national athlete. Fang Yi recognizes her. Those with superior physical stats in the old world became the first elite pioneers in the new one. For a moment, Fang Yi's mind drifts to his previous life. He remembers the truth. The association fails. In his old timeline, humanity went extinct. He knows he has to play the game to change the future, but he's not going to be anyone's puppet. He makes a deal. He'll cooperate, but on his terms. He tells her to file a report that's half truth, half falsehood. He's using the association's fear of offending a master to his advantage. He's putting the government on a leash, but the time for politics is running out. Across the globe, the anomalies are waking up. Bloody, insane creatures are carving out territories and turning the world into a slaughterhouse. A massive, unnatural thunderstorm hits. This isn't just weather, it's a lightning trial. While the government warns citizens to stay indoors, Fang Yi is heading straight for the eye of the storm. He arrives at Yuhuang Mountain, one of the city's biggest tourist spots. But the system warning is clear. Pollution level unknown. Most people see a disaster. Fang Yi sees an opportunity. He steps into the dark woods, ready to face whatever nightmare is waiting at the top. The real hunt starts now.